In a world where every life matters, we are fascinated by the stories of the ongoing efforts of people dedicated to saving even the smallest and most vulnerable creatures. And here is one such story. Ermine, at less than 4 weeks old, was abandoned by his mom. At this point in his life, he was found by a man named Robert. He believes he was in a litter of 6 to 7 little stoats, but for some reason was left alone. At first, the man fed him with milk. Because the stoat was very tiny, it was a real challenge for him. Later, Robert named the stoat Whisper. It had one eye open, which meant it was 5 weeks old and had already had a fat belly. The man provided him with a sleeping bag, where he could feel nice and cozy. By the age of 7 weeks, Whisper was walking well and growing so quickly that Robert decided it was time for a bigger enclosure. He imagined that for Whisper, this new space would be like an entire world to explore, and he believed it would make Whisper even braver. Although he feels that Whisper has grown too trusting of humans, this could be problematic, especially because he plans to release him back into the wild. The man wishes Whisper had another stoat companion. Robert decided he needed to find another stoat for Whisper's companionship. After some time, he received a call from Norfolk. They had found a baby stoat in a garden. With a few more calls and a brief trip, he brought the young stoat home. This new stoat was about the same age as Whisper but seemed quite timid. Robert named her Stoat, and she was a girl. At the first chance, he introduced Stoat to Whisper, curious to see their interaction. Neither of them had seen another stoat before, having been found with their eyes still closed. It promised to be a fascinating observation. To his delight, the introduction was a success. Within just half an hour, they started playing, seemingly grateful for each other's company. It was a heartwarming sight. By the time they reached 9 weeks old, the stoats were incredibly active, climbing, fighting, and playing. Robert constructed a larger and more intricate enclosure, believing they were ready for it. Stoat was more reserved, hesitantly peeking out from behind the rocks. In contrast, Whisper, with his innate confidence, dove straight into exploring this new space. Their confidence grew day by day, and they soon started playing in this new enclosure, displaying their delightful antics. During their play, a clear rivalry between the two emerged. For example, Whisper had food, and a peckish Stoat attempted to snatch it. Notably, he even added a pond to the enclosure, providing the stoats with a new form of entertainment as they gleefully splashed around. By the 10th week, it dawned on Robert that the stoats were primed for life in the wild. Making the decision, he released them. Stoat took the lead, cautiously sniffing the entrance and taking her initial steps. Whisper followed in her quiet stride. Robert feels profoundly grateful for this unique experience, cherishing his time with the young stoats. He holds on to the hope of seeing them again in the future. To this day, Robert Fuller is dedicated to conserving habitats and restoring wildlife in Yorkshire.